Let's assume this situation for a minute. You're an HEB worker during the COVID-19 pandemic. You've been brought on as extra help at the grocery store. You've worked long hours throughout the day, sometimes even at night, stocking the shelves tirelessly, trying to keep up with the mad rush of people coming into the stores. Now assume for a minute that you were doing all of this for free. That's kind of how college athletes feel. College athletes do so much for the universities, between participating in sports, to go into all their classes. There are reasons why they should be compensated. That's why today in my speech, we're going to analyze why college athletes should be paid. And I hope to persuade you to believe this. This is very relevant to us because college athletes and college sports is such a big part of all of our lives. We all love to watch it. I can testify to why they should be paid because I've spent 3 semesters as a college athlete and can testify to the busy schedule they have and why they should be paid. That's why in my speech today, I attempt to persuade you to agree with me that college athletes should be paid through several main points. The first main point being, college athletes should be paid because being a college athlete is a full-time job. According to TheRichest.com, a college athlete spends 43.3 hours per week on their sport. This is through lots of different things. They might have team practices, individual skill sessions. You could have strength and conditioning sessions, film sessions, rehab. And then you throw a full class load on top. And what ends up happening is it just becomes too much for the athletes. They're overloaded with stuff and they just overflow. It's more than they're able to handle. It's really hard being a college athlete. There's a lot on your plate. A lot of people might say that being a college athlete, getting a full ride scholarship is sufficient payment. But I can testify to the fact that it isn't, due to the fact that college athletes are always forced to miss classes due to practices or road trips or other things like that. NFL cornerback Richard Sherman told Business Insider in an interview, "I don't think college athletes are given enough time to really take advantage of their free education." And he has a completely valid point. How are they supposed to fully utilize their full ride scholarship if they're always on the road, always doing other things? And then they end up getting behind in class. When they're missing class, they're missing instruction, they're missing assignments, they might even miss a quiz or a test. And then it's on them to make that up on their own time. One of the many reasons why college athletes should be paid. Moving on to my second main point. The NCAA is a big money. In the NCAA, you have lots of moving parts. There's lots of jobs going on. You have head coaches, referees, you have analysts, commentators, venue workers. All these people are making lots and lots of money. But the people who are really bringing in all the money and all the viewers are the athletes. And they're the only ones in the NCAA that aren't making any money. And even on top of this, you have lots of people who would say that these jobs in the NCAA are being overpaid. It's common to see an NCAA Division I head coach being paid over $1 million. In 2015, the Final Four of the March Madness tournament was breaking records as far as money and views are concerned. The Final Four game between Kentucky and Wisconsin set a record with 27 million viewers on TV. On top of this, there was over 143,000 people in attendance. The championship game between Duke and Wisconsin had similar numbers. According to Complex, the 2015 season, Coach K of Duke and Bo Ryan of Wisconsin made a combined salary of $12,628,032. If the NCAA and universities have the money to pay coaches this much, surely they can pay athletes at least something. That's another reason why college athletes should be paid. Moving on to my third and last main point, college athletes should be paid in order to keep high school prospects from heading overseas. This is a really, really common trend, especially in the basketball world, when you have top high school talent who, instead of going to college, decide to go overseas and play professionally for a year before heading into their professional pro drafts. And some of the names of college basketball players or basketball players who have done this have been Emmanuel Mudiay, LaMelo Ball, and RJ Hampton. And these are just a few names of the many people who have done this. One of the biggest advantages to doing this is you can get paid overseas. You don't have to worry about classes. Basketball is your full-time job. If universities decided to pay their college athletes, it would reduce the number of prospects that wanted to do this. They would end up staying in college, which would increase the talent pool in the NCAA, making things far more interesting and entertaining for the fans. So today, in my speech, we have analyzed several reasons why college athletes should be paid. I hope in my speech today I've been able to persuade you to agree with me and see this issue the same way I do. Thank you for your time.